Hello and welcome back to the course of Basic Electrical Engineering. In this video lecture, I am going to continue with the Unit 2, that is AC circuits. The topics that I am going to discuss in these video lectures are active, reactive and apparent power and voltage, impedance and power triangle. In the previous video lectures of AC circuit, I have discussed about the phasor diagram of series RC and series RL circuit. Based on those phasor diagram, I will discuss voltage, impedance and power triangle. So let us start with the active and reactive component of the current first. So here you can see one voltage and current is represented by phasor. So this is a phasor representation and we can see current is lagging behind the voltage by some angle phi. So this is basically a RL circuit phasor diagram. Now current lags behind the voltage phi can be resolved into two components which is known as active component and reactive components. These two components are mutually perpendicular to each other. So here you can see this is a current phasor diagram and this is a voltage. Voltage is leading the current by some angle phi, or we can say current lags behind voltage by some angle phi. Now current can be resolved into two mutually perpendicular components. One is I cos phi and other one is I sin phi. Now based on these two components, we are having two components known as active and reactive components of the current. Now what is active component of the current? The component of the current which is in phase with the applied voltage. This is the phasor diagram of applied voltage. So this is nothing but the active component of the current I cos phi, which is in phase with the applied voltage, and it is known as a wattful component of the current. In the given phasor diagram, OA is nothing but the active component of the current. It is the component of the current because of that actual power consumption takes place in the given circuit. So active component of the current is I cos phi, which is in phase with the applied voltage. Other component is nothing but the reactive component of the current, and that component is in quadrature phase with applied voltage V. So we can see I sin phi is in quadrature phase with the applied voltage V. We can see here angle between V and I sin phi is 90 degree. This component is known as wattless component of the current because the power which we are getting is a reactive power because of this reactive component with the current, which is nothing but the useless power. So that's why it is known as a wattless component. And in the present diagram, we can say AB is a reactive component of the current. So current can be resolved into the two mutually perpendicular components, active component and reactive components, and because of the active component and reactive component, we'll be having two powers known as active power and reactive power. So let us discuss about the active power, reactive power and apparent power. So here taking the same diagram, we can see voltage leads the current by some angle phi. Current is resolved into the two mutually perpendicular component I cos phi and I sin phi. Now based on these two components, let us define three different power, that is active, reactive and apparent power. So starting with the first one, that is apparent power. It is the product of RMS value of voltage and RMS value of the current. It is the product of RMS value of the applied voltage and RMS value of the resulting current. It is a total power supplied by the circuit. So apparent power of the given circuit is a total power of the circuit, which is measured, which is given by S is equal to V into I, where V and I are the RMS value of the voltage and current respectively. The apparent power is measured in terms of volt ampere or kilovolt ampere. Transformer specifications are always given in terms of VA or kVA. Now next one is the active power. As I told you, active power is because of active component of the current. So it is the actual power consumed in any circuit. It is given by product of RMS value of voltage and RMS value of the current and cosine of angle between voltage and current. So active power is nothing but the VI cos phi. So active power can be also given by P is equal to I square R or VI cos phi, because we know that for purely inductive and capacitive circuit average power is 0. So active power is a power because of resistive part of the circuit. So it is given by P is equal to I square R or VI cos phi. It is always measured in terms of watt or kilowatt. Active power is denoted by P, apparent power is denoted by S, and third one is a reactive power. The power drawn by the circuit due to reactive component of the current is known as reactive power of the circuit. It is given by product of RMS value of the voltage and RMS value of the current and sine angle between voltage and current, that is VI sine phi. So reactive power is basically a power due to reactive component of the current, which is wattless component of the current. Reactive power flows in the circuit from source to the load and back from load to the source. It is a useless power, so it should be minimized. It should be as small as possible in the circuit, and it is given by Q. Q is equal to I square into X. X is a reactance, which can be a capacitive reactance or inductive reactance. So it is given by VI sine phi as per definition, and it is measured in terms of voltage ampere reactive or kilo voltage ampere reactive. So these are the total power, where apparent power is a phasor sum of active power and reactive power. Now moving towards voltage triangular for series RL circuit. So to draw the voltage triangular, we should have first the phasor diagram of series RL circuit, which we have already discussed in the previous video lectures of AC circuit. So for series RL circuit, the components are R and L. We know the as circuit is series, current is taken as a reference. VR is a voltage drop across resistance. For resistive circuit, V and I are in phase, and VL is a voltage drop across inductor. We know VL for purely inductive circuit, VL leads the current by 90 degree or current lags behind the voltage by 90 degree. So this is VL. Now taking the projection of VL, so and the final which resultant voltage V will be given by this phasor. V is equal to I into Z, which is leading the current by some angle phi. So from this phasor diagram, we can say this is the voltage triangular. So we can draw the voltage triangular like this way. Now why it is known as a voltage triangular? Because all the sides of triangular is represented by voltage VR, VL and V. We know VR is equal to IR, VL is equal to I into XL, and V is a resultant voltage, which is a phasor sum of VR and VL, which can be given by I into Z. So from this voltage triangular, we can write V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL square. Now VR is IR and VL is IXL. So putting the value of that, so V is equal to square root of IR whole square plus IXL whole square. Taking I common, so we are getting V is equal to I is in square root of R square plus XL square, where R square plus XL square is nothing but the Z. So V is I into Z, that is a resultant voltage. So these are the equation which we are getting from voltage triangle. Now moving towards impedance triangle for series RL circuit. So to draw the impedance triangular, we should have first voltage triangular, which we have drawn from the phasor diagram. So again, this is a voltage triangular. VR, VL and V are the sides of the voltage triangular. Now if we divide all the sides by current I, then we'll be having impedance triangular. So if we divide this side by I, we'll be having R, here we'll be having XL, and here we are having Z. So impedance triangular gives the relationship between R, XL and Z. And from this impedance triangular, we can also determine the power factor of the circuit. So this is the impedance triangular, which we are getting from the voltage triangular by dividing all the sides of voltage triangular by current I. Now from this impedance triangular, what we can find? So from the impedance triangular, we can write Z is a phasor sum of R and XL. So Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. And we can also write sine phi is equal to XL divided by R, and cos phi is equal to R divided by Z, where Z is a square root of R square plus XL square. So this is the power factor which we are getting from the impedance triangular. These all equations are useful whenever we are solving the example based on series RL or series RC circuit. And finally tan phi is equal to XL divided by R. And the third triangular for series RL circuit is power triangular. So again drawing the voltage triangle, it consists of three sides VR, VL and V, which is represented in terms of current and resistance. Here it is represented in terms of current and inductive reactance. So if we want to have the power from voltage, we have to multiply the power voltage by current. So if we multiply all the sides of voltage triangular by current I, will be getting the power triangular. So here it will be I into R, here it will be I into VL, and here it will be I into V. Now for the from the impedance triangular, we can write R is equal to V cos phi and XL is equal to V sin phi. So putting the value of R, we can write V in I into V cos phi, that is VI cos phi, I into VL, that is VL is nothing but the V sin phi. So VI sin phi, and I is I into V, that is the total power, that is apparent power. So from this power triangular, we can define real power, that is actual power or average power. So P is equal to VI cos phi or I square into R. Similarly, reactive power which we are getting based on this, that is it is denoted by Q is equal to VI sin phi is equal to I square into XL. And finally apparent power S is equal to VI, or it can be written as, we know V is equal to I into Z, so it can be written as I square Z. So these are the three powers which we are getting from the power triangle. Now moving towards the voltage triangular, impedance triangular and power triangular for series RC circuit. So to draw the voltage triangular, we should have first the phasor diagram of series RC circuit. Now series RC circuit consists of resistor and capacitor in series. So as series circuit is there, current will be taken as reference, and we know VR is a voltage drop across the resistor which is in phase with the current, and VC is a voltage drop across the capacitor which lags behind the current by VC, because for capacitive circuit current leads the voltage. So here current, as it is a purely capacitive circuit, current leads the voltage VC by some angle 90. Now taking the projection of VC over here, which is represented by I into XC. So final resultant voltage which we are getting is V into is equal to I into Z. Now this supply voltage is lagging behind the current by some angle phi. So this is the phasor diagram for series RC circuit, which I have already discussed in the previous video lecture. Now we know this is nothing but the voltage triangular. So from this phasor diagram we are having this voltage triangular, because it consists of all the sides of the voltage are all the sides of the triangular are voltages. So that's why it is known as a voltage triangular. VR, VC and V. Now from this voltage triangular we can write V is equal to, that is a resultant voltage is a phasor sum of VR and VC. So V is equal to square root of VR square plus VC square. Now VR is nothing but the IR and VC is nothing but the IXC. So V is equal to square root of IR square plus IXC whole square, taking I common. So we are getting V is equal to I into square root of R square plus XC square, which can be represented by I into Z, where Z is the impedance of the circuit. So from this voltage triangular we can derive the expression of resultant voltage, we can also derive the angle phi, and we can also derive the power factor cos phi. Now moving towards the impedance triangular, we know to draw the impedance triangular we should have first voltage triangular. So this is the voltage triangular. Here VR is equal to I into R, I into XC and V is I into Z. So if we divide all the sides of the voltage triangle, we are getting the impedance triangular. Here impedance triangular is represented in terms of R, XC and Z. So from this impedance triangular, the equation which we can derive are the equation of impedance, that is Z is equal to square root of R square plus XC square. In the previous case of RL circuit, the impedance Z is R square plus XL square. Here it is R square plus XC square. Then sin phi is nothing but the XC divided by Z, and cos phi is nothing but the R divided by Z, which is power factor. So here equation of cos phi is R divided by Z for series RC circuit. The same equation we got for the series RL circuit, that is R divided by Z, but Z is different for both the cases. In the case of series RL circuit, Z is square root of R square plus XL square. Here it is R square root of R square plus XC square, and finally we can write tan phi is equal to XC divided by R. Again, these all equations are useful whenever we are solving the example based on series RC circuit. Now moving towards the power triangular for series RA circuit. So to draw the power triangle, we should have the voltage triangle, and the sides of the voltage triangulars are represented by voltage. So if we multiply all the sides by current, we will be getting the power. So this is the power triangular. Here it is I into R, here it is I into XC, and here it is V into I. Now we know what is R in this case. R is nothing but the V cos phi. Here XC is nothing but the V sin phi. So equation becomes VI cos phi, VI sin phi and VI. So this is the active power, true power, this is the reactive power, and this is nothing but the apparent power. So from the power triangle we can write the real power P is equal to VI cos phi, that is I square R. Reactive power is VI sin phi, that is I square XC. Here it is I square XC. In the previous case it was I square XL. And apparent power S is equal to VI, that is I square into Z. So we can derive the expression for active, reactive and apparent power from the power triangular. So this is all about the today's video lecture. In this video lecture, I have discussed about the active, reactive and apparent power, and also discuss about the voltage, power and impedance triangular for series RC and series RL circuit. Hope you have enjoyed the video. See you soon in the next video of the AC circuit. Thank you for watching.